Hello everyone. This video is a quick introduction to phonics so that you're aware of what sounds have been taught so far and how you can help your child use the sounds to begin to learn to read. At Kennington's, we use the Monster Phonics scheme. It involves monsters linked to a colour and to sounds. It's quite a visual scheme and the children like the monsters. We're well on our way with learning the first few sounds. These are the sounds for the letters of the alphabet. In Monster Phonics terms, we call them black cat sounds. I know we have sent them home for you in the sound books, but I would just like to go through them again with you here so that you can help your child to pronounce them correctly. So the first one is S, A, I, M, M, D, G. Those are the sounds so far. Your children have learnt enough sounds now to read a fair few words. So we will be handing out reading books this week. And the children will be able to use the sounds that they have learnt to read the words in those books. Some of the books that might come home might be Monster Phonics books, but you might see other books come home that are from other schemes, and that's absolutely fine. The books that we send home will be with the sounds that the children have learnt. So it doesn't matter whether they've got the Monster Phonics books or whether they've got a book from another scheme. It will be the sounds that they have learnt. When we teach using the sounds to read words, we call this blending. Because we're basically saying each sound in the word and blending it into the next sound in the word and so on to read the word. So let me give you an example. So the word at. The children have learnt the sounds in this word. So when we're teaching blending, we encourage the children to say each sound in order. So they would say at. At this point, they might be able to hear that the word is at. But there might be some children that find it hard to hear that this is the word at just from sounding it out like that. So there are two strategies that you can use to help your child with hearing what the word is when they have blended it. So the first strategy is the speed up strategy. So ask your child to say the sounds in the word and keep repeating them until a little faster each time until they're saying the word. So I'll give you an example of that. So at, at, at. So as you can see, I've sped up saying the sounds in order, and you can hear that I'm saying the word at. And children do find this helps a lot. The second strategy you can use if your child's finding it hard to hear what the word is when they're sounding out is the slow down, stretch out strategy. So again, you ask your child to say each sound, but to stretch the sound into the next sound until they're saying the word. So for this example, it will be at. And hopefully they will hear that they have said a slowed down version of the word at. Let's give you another example. So the word sit. Again, the children have learnt the sounds for this word. So we've just encouraged the children to say the sounds in the right order. So s, it. At this point, children might hear that it is the word sit. But if they find it a little harder, again, you can use the speed up strategy of saying each sound gradually faster. So sit, 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 sit. And eventually they should hear that the word is sit, or the stretch out strategy, where you blend the sounds into one another slowly. Sit, sit, sit. and hopefully they hear that they are saying a slowed down version of sit. The only thing that may be a stumbling block for your child is if they don't recognise the sounds. If they don't, then please try to go through the sound book with them as much as possible. You can play games with them, like hide and seek with the sounds, or a game of snap, or matching pairs memory game where you write out the sounds twice, turn them all over, and take it in turns to choose 2 cards to see if you can find a matching pair, or jump on the island where you write out the sounds on pieces of paper, say a sound, and ask your child to jump on it. Obviously, these take a little bit of preparation, just writing out the sounds for the games, but it will be well worth it. The children will enjoy it, and they're practicing recognising the sounds which they need for the reading. This can count towards one of your sessions of reading with the children. Obviously, we do ask that you read with your child at least 4 times a week. So one of the times could be playing these games. If you just write that in your child's reading record book, that you did some sound recognition games with your child, then that's absolutely fine and will count as one of their reading sessions. If when your child is first reading their book, they're taking a long time with blending the sounds, and they're getting a little bit frustrated and working really hard on that, so it's taking a long time, don't feel you have to read the whole book with your child. Reading a couple of pages each day is absolutely fine. We don't want them to hate it or dread it, and it's actually better that they do a little bit at a time while they build their confidence with blending and reading. And then obviously their blending will improve and they will be able to read more and more of the book in one go as the year goes on. Please also encourage your child to talk about the pictures like they have been doing over the last few weeks with their reading, and talk about the content of the story so that they are still understanding the plot of what they're reading. So thank you for watching the video. Hopefully it has given you a little bit of a better understanding of how your child is beginning to learn to read. Please, when you see the words in your child's reading book, encourage them to sound them out and to read. There may be the odd word that they don't know the sounds for yet, and of course you can help them with that. But the more your child practices seeing the sounds in the word, saying them and blending them together to read, the better they will become. Happy reading.